Hi, Patrick here. Have Cheetah will view, and we are here for another film review. So the movie that we'll be talking about today is taken from Rio Bravo. It's a 2024 film that was directed by Joe Cornet and co-written by Greg Hammond and Alexander Nevsky. It stars Alexander Nevsky, Joe Cornet, uh, Cynthia Rothrock, Don the Dragon Wilson, Matthias Hughes, and Tatiana Neva as Ellen. Um, so this film is a sequel to the first film called Shootout at Gunfight at Rio Bravo, and it introduced Ivan Tuchin or John Basil Tuchin to viewers. He is a real life character, and so these stories are based on his life. Now, last time in Gunfight at Rio Bravo, um, uh, uh, Ivan and Vernon Kelly, played by Joe Cornet, they managed to stop Crawley and his group of hellhounds, and that included Crawley being taken to prison in San Antonio. Well, this movie opens up uh, with we're sitting at a saloon, a restaurant. People are having a good time playing cards, in with the families for meals, having a couple drinks. A couple of bad guys decide they want to come in and crash the party, and so they go around and they rob every patron in the bar, except for one who's just reading a newspaper and just wanting to get on his train and go home, and that would be our good friend Ivan. He then proceeds to stop the two robbers, take out the gang, and we are reintroduced to him. And then a very cool collage credit opening comes through. That was really cool. That was really a very, very good opening credit sequence. Um, and basically, we roll in, and we start the movie. And the movie is about a bunch of slave traders that are kidnapping women and taking them down to Mexico and selling them to rich clientele, as you could say, and that includes Vernon Kelly's his girl, as long as Valine, and their Aunt Margaret, who's played by Cynthia Rothrock. Well, unfortunately, Margaret, well, she doesn't get taken, but we'll have to see what happens to her. So of course this fires up Ivan and Vernon, and they decide that they need to saddle up and go after what the group is called the posse. So it's just the two of them. So they head on. They start heading down south to try to get back their women, and uh, along the way they meet old friends. Uh, Both literally good friends and old friends that maybe not quite so old friends as they should be. Um, and we also meet a very, very not so nice guy who's called Jack Wakatu. He plays a mixed breed Indian who's very bitter at the world, and well played by James Chalk, by the way. He was a hell of a villain. I'll give him that. Definitely a hell of a villain. Um, and we of course we meet as far as friends go. Ivan meets an old friend that he served with him in the army, and that was a gentleman named Angel, who's played by Don the Dragon Wilson. And it was cool to see him. Quite honestly, I was very. It was very cool to see Cynthia Rothrock, and it was very cool to see Don Wilson in this film. It's not the first time they've appeared in an Alexander Nevsky film, Throwdown in Manila. They also appeared in that movie as well. And I am going to comment in a couple of minutes here about Cynthia Rothrock's performance. My feelings about it. Um, but during while the gentlemen are riding south, they also run across a very unique bounty hunter named Ellen, played by Tatiana Neva, and she was badass. I was like, yeah, that's cool. She had great. She looked great. She just popped in for a minute, and definitely intriguing character that really wants you to, you really want to see more and know more about her, and you want to see how fast she really is with the gun. Um, but we only get her for like 4 or 5 minutes, and that's all we get. Just a taste, and so, but a memorable one. Um, uh, so Ivan and Vernon, they do catch up with the slave trader led by Jack Wakatu. They do catch up with him, but during the ensuing rescue, Vernon is wounded, and he can't. He's seriously wounded, and so the two ladies go ahead, Valerie and or Valine, I should say, Valine and oh my gosh, and Jenny. God, how could I forget Jenny? Um, they go ahead and take Vernon back to town, and that leaves Ivan by himself. And he goes down there and he has the final clash, and very good, interesting showdown, and very cool. Um, I what can I say about this, man? I love westerns, and so you already know I'm going to be digging on this one. Um, this is a beautifully filmed movie. Wow, I gotta tell you that right now. This movie, it looks absolutely stunning to look at, um, and that is because they have a wonderful photographer named Sam Wilkerson. The score of the film, of course, is going to be by Sean Murray, old friends of Joe Cornet and Alexander, and he delivers a great score for this film. Um, Now, I know a lot of people might they see the name of Cynthia Rothrock in this film, and of course, this is all speculation by myself. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be disappointed by her short screen time, and yeah, it is sort of a ugh. But this is just my, Of course, I'll probably be told, no, that's not really what happened. But my instinct was because I think because Cynthia has her own movie coming out, Black Creek, I believe it's called. I That's coming out any time now. I know that it's been in post production for a while, but I do think it is going to be coming out really soon. And I don't think that the filmmakers here, being Alexander and Joe, and that really wanted to take away from that upcoming film. So they gave her a key critical part to introduce fans that Cynthia Rothrock is doing westerns, and she was great in it. She even had a cool fight scene in it, and and it was just a key critical scene in the movie. But I don't think they needed her as a special, like a co-star, simply for the fact that I think it probably would have taken away a little bit from her own movie, which is coming out. Now, this is all speculation of me. All I know is I was super glad to see her, and thank you for casting her. Thank you for casting. Thank you for casting Don the Dragon Wilson. It's always cool to see. Of course, Matthias was back as again. And that's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite bad guys from the '90s. Action hero stars Matthias Hughes. Um, so he came back as a villain. So it was really cool to see that. Now I liked the action in this film. Um, I was poking around and just seeing how other people were feeling about it, and of course I got a lot of that superhero shot, like he never misses. You know what though? You know what? In terms of Ivan, he never misses. Everything he shoots at, he hits. You know what though? It's a throwback. It's a go back to any classic western from the '50s, um, and see if you don't see the same thing. All the good guys wearing the white hats, John Wayne or whoever it is, they always hit their man. They always got their man. All this is just an extension of that. That's all it is. It's nothing, it's nothing big, nothing to really comment about like some people were. It was great. It's good to see. It's fun. He's the hero. He should have a sure shot. And he didn't shoot past the limitations of his weapon either. So he wasn't running around shooting 38 bullets out of a six shooter. It did show him reloading, and and it showed him switching guns around. One gun was empty, he switched around. So I think the naysayers are looking, they're nitpicking. Not here, not here. No, my only complaint for this movie is, and my only complaint is one I also, it was actually from the first one as well. It's just too short. The movie's 80 minutes long, and that included like a 5-minute final credit scroll, but it's too long. It's too short. And there will be a third part in the Rio Bravo franchise. My biggest thing is I want it to be a little longer. I want it to be like a 95 to 100-minute film, because we enjoy what we're watching. That's the only complaint I have about this movie. I don't have a complaint about the gunplay. It looked great. The blood looks great. The effects look great. There's even, once again, they repeat a scene from the first movie where they show Ivan coming in on his horse. That always will get a laugh because he's so damn big. Alexander Nevsky is so damn big. You keep on waiting for him to come around the corner on a Clydesdale. But the movie itself is fun. It's fast. It's beautifully filmed. It's scored. But it's just too short. It needs to be longer. That's my only complaint. We want to see more Ivan, and we definitely want to see more Vernon. And so hopefully the next film, that's what we'll see. We'll get that an hour and 40, an hour and 45-minute runtime, because there's plenty of story to tell. Greg Hammond, who wrote the screenplay off of a story by Alexander Nevsky, he's a hell of a writer. He could definitely write out an hour and a half long, hour and 40-minute long script. No problem there. The man has skills. And that's it. Otherwise, this is a fun movie. It's just as fun as the first one. Got me already looking for the third one. And Alexander and Nevsky and Joe Cornet are a powerhouse duo. They know what they are doing. They know what the fans want, and they're bringing it to them. So hats off to Taken from Rio Bravo. Also had an appearance, albeit a very short one, by our good friend John Mack. She was in this film and played a pivotal part, and to help get over the villain. And she looked great. And personally, I feel like she could have kicked his ass. But otherwise, she was great. I like this movie. I like this movie quite a bit, and I think you will too. It will be coming out on physical media, because it was released by ITN. So when this comes out on hard copy, I'll let you guys know that, and we'll talk about it again. By the time you hear this, Joe and Alexander and Tatiana Neva, they'll be coming by as guests on 8 Questions With for a special Friday matinee edition, Friday, August 23rd at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Hope to see you there. All right, that's it for this review. Thanks so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, hit the sub button. Otherwise, drop a comment down below, and we will talk at you soon. Peace.